Hi there, my name is Maria Gurieva. I'm the founder of Studyamerica, and we help international students from all over the world get accepted to top US universities. In this video, let's talk about Stanford, which is a dream university to many international students. And let's talk about how you can get financial aid there and study there for free. Let's go! Please press the like button and subscribe to my channel. This will help my channel to develop, which is very important to me. And this will help you not to miss any important video about applying to the United States. Stanford University is a top world university in many fields, and of course it's not a surprise that it attracts so many international students and becomes a dream university for so many people. And of course applying to Stanford University is very hard, and they have very low percentage of acceptance rate, and their acceptance rate is about 4%, although a few years ago they just stopped reporting their acceptance rate at all. So now we can only guess that it's about 4% or even lower. And Stanford University is hard to get, but of course very good to study at, because the opportunities that it opens to you are enormous, and the Silicon Valley, which is right nearby, opens even more opportunities for you. In order to get accepted to Stanford University and study there for free, you need to follow certain steps. The first step is to pass exams. The first exam you need to pass is the SAT test if you're applying for the bachelor's program, or the GRE test if you're applying for a postgraduate program. You need to pass these tests, and these tests are extremely hard, so you will need to devote some months to study and prepare for this test in order to succeed in it. The second exam you need to pass as an international student is a Toefl test, if the English is not your native language. The Toefl test is a test of English as a foreign language, and over there it is specifically designed for international students to see if the English is enough to study at an American university. And you need to pass this test on 100 points or more in order to apply to Stanford University, out of 120 points, which is a maximum score for the Toefl test. If you want to prepare for the Toefl test and pass it on 100 points or more, definitely check out my course. In this course, I teach all the tactics and tricks to prepare for the Toefl test and to know exactly what the test makers are waiting for, what they are expecting you to do in each part of the test. The link is in the description. Definitely check out this bestseller course. After you pass your exam, you need to fill the Common App, Common Application. Common Application is the application that is designed for many universities, and Stanford is one of them that accept Common Application. In this application, there are a lot of different questions, so about your family, about your education, about your activities, and you will need to write an essay. This essay is sent to all universities you're applying to, including Stanford. This essay is extremely important because it is sent everywhere, and this is the impression that you make to all the universities at once. So this essay needs to showcase your personality, show your best characters, and to prove to Stanford that you are a mature person and that you qualify to study there, and that you share their values, and that you are a student that they are looking for. That's very important to write this essay very thoroughly, and to polish it, and to rewrite it, and to get feedback, to make it perfect, to make it a masterpiece, so that every word is in the right place. There are no words that should be avoided, and every word is making you closer to your dream. Then there is also a Stanford supplement that has additional questions. It's also in the Common Application website, but it's in a separate section. You will find additional questions specifically from Stanford, including short essays. Short essays would ask you things like why you want to apply to Stanford, what attracts you at Stanford, or they will ask you to write a letter to your future roommate, where they will also see what kind of person you are and how you present yourself to your future roommate. Section of the essays in the Common App and the supplement section, specifically from Stanford, creates this outlook on your personality. And personality is much more important for Stanford even than your grades and test scores. Although your grades and test scores are extremely important as well, because they help them make the first choice and eliminate candidates that are not successful academically enough to study at Stanford. But after this choice choice is made, they have too many applicants left, and then the final choice is based on the essays. All the students that pass the SAT test on the highest score possible, 1600 out of 1600, you cannot do any better. 68% of those students did not get accepted to Stanford University because their essays didn't work. And the students that even had lower score for the SAT, but the essays were much better, they got accepted. After you wrote your essays, you also need to gather important documents. These documents are recommendation letters that you need to ask your teachers and your counselor if you're in high school, or your employer and your professors if you're applying for a master's program or for a PhD program. By the way, if you're applying for master's or PhD at Stanford, you can get financial aid, especially on the PhD program, where you will get it for sure. But instead of the common application, you will need to fill another Stanford designed application. So you gather recommendation letters and you submit those, and you also gather your transcripts. If you're in high school, you gather your transcript from your school, from your high school, for the entire high school, for all the years you had in high school, all the grades that you had over there. And you submit your transcripts and your recommendation letters with your common application or with your Stanford-based application if you're applying for postgraduate programs. Afterwards, you send all those applications, all those documents to Stanford University and to other schools. It's important to double-check everything. It's important to double-check what kinds of answers you had for all the questions in the application. It's important to check your spelling. It's important to check your grammar. If you had a stupid email address, it's also a bad impression. So check out that your email is not stupid. It actually has your name, your last name, and a place where you have your mail. Double-check everything. Double-check that there are no mistakes, that you spelled everything correctly, that you start sentences with capital letters and stuff like that. After you checked, double-checked, triple-checked everything, then just press the submit button and that's it. After your application is submitted to Stanford, you might get an interview. And in the interview, you also need to present yourself very well because it also adds to the personality part of your application. In the interview, it's important to behave well, to answer questions very well, to prepare well at home, and to be on time, of course, to be appropriately dressed, and to follow up after the interview about how well it went and how you were glad to even have a bigger desire and attraction to study at Stanford. Then, if you're applying for a bachelor's program, you need to submit financial aid documents. And the financial aid documents include CSS profile. This is the application that you fill about your income, your family expenses, about all the assets that they have. So you give a lot of financial data in this application that they will later consider. If the income of your family is less than $60,000 a year, then you are considered unable to pay anything for the Stanford education and you are qualified for the full financial aid. If the income of your family is less than $140,000 a year, then you're qualified for financial aid that covers the tuition but doesn't cover room and board. But you're still qualified for actually the full financial aid to cover your cost of attendance, to cover your educational expenses. But you will need, in this case, if your income, your family income is higher than $60,000, to pay for your room and board, for your accommodation and for your food, in other words. So you feel the CSS profile very well with your parents, check out all the numbers, check if everything works well and looks well. Then you send this application and then you are provided with another application which is called IDOC, I-D-O-C. IDOC, you submit the supporting documents. With international students, it's either tax return of your parents or salary statement, and also you need to provide a bank statement with the amount on your bank account, on your parents' bank account. So you submit those documents and they're also sent to Stanford University. And this is it. This is the final step to apply to Stanford as a bachelor. If you're applying for master's or PhD, you skip this step because CSS profile is only for those applying after high school to Stanford for the bachelor's degree. When you submit everything, you just wait. You submit it before the deadline, which is in the beginning of January, and then you wait till April until they publish their official results. It's normally happening on the 1st of April, and this is April's Fool Day, but don't be surprised because they don't lie and they don't make jokes on the 1st of April when they publish their results. So you can trust those. And you get this letter, and it's either congratulations, you're accepted, or we regret to inform you that you are not accepted. And of course, I hope that you all get accepted and that you make your dream come true. If you want to get into Stanford, please check out my free webinar where I talk about all the techniques, all the tactics to guarantee yourself admissions to a top US university. I'll share the experience of my students getting accepted to Stanford and other schools, and I will tell you how to guarantee your admissions to a top US university and how to get financial aid and study there for free. The link is in the description. Please register right now. And if you like this video, please press the like button and subscribe to my channel. There are a lot of very useful videos about admissions to the United States. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on my free webinar and in the next videos. Bye bye!